What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Awesome Nerd Show. Today we're looking at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Swamp Thing. So this is a mega figure, so this thing is ginormous, and it looks really cool for Swamp Thing, so you can see them in there. Of course, we'll have to get it out of the box to look at it closely, but you can already start to see a lot of that detail of Swamp Thing there. It looks like he comes with another hand, and then, of course, the usual card and base along with it. But other than that, that seems a little scarce, but for such a big figure, that's kind of not unexpected or anything, but just looks so cool with how big this is and everything. Looks incredible. So if we go around to the side, we can see it's from the DC Rebirth, and there we have a picture of him on the side, of course, that we'll see on the cards as well. So overall, this figure looks really cool, and I'm excited to see, especially with just the size of this figure, is going to be really cool. So I'll probably have to throw in some other figures just to see the size comparison there. But not only are we looking at this Swamp Thing, but we also have the GameStop exclusive version of the new 52 version of Swamp Thing. So pretty much the same, but as you see, he has like the antlers up on his head, and that's really about the only difference between the two. Otherwise, they're the exact same figures, just swapped out the heads there for the GameStop exclusive version. So both of these look really cool, and I'm excited to open them and check them out. So let me get them out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So let's start off with the DC Rebirth version of Swamp Thing. So this thing is cool and huge as well. This thing is, of course, labeled as Mega Fig, and of course it's going to cost more at that point as well, but it is really big. This is a giant figure. We've had some big Swamp Things in the past with figures, but this thing is just enormous. And just so you can see a height difference, I'll go and just bring in just a Batman I picked up. So there's just your standard McFarlane Batman figure, so you can see just how tall he is compared to just a normal Batman. So this thing is enormous. But Swamp Thing's real name is Alec Holland, and he invented a biorestorative formula that would stimulate hormonal growth and plant life to grow in hostile terrain, which would help solve food shortages. But the laboratory he worked in was bombed, and he was covered in the formula and flames, and so he ran out of the building out into the swamps, where the formula affected the plant life around him, and it absorbed Alec's consciousness and memories into a human form known as the Swamp Thing. So Alex is pretty much dead now. He's just this giant monster, but all his memories and mind and everything is in this giant swamp creature. And a Swamp Thing, he has control over all plant life. He has metamorphosis powers that can grow wings, change his size, heal himself, or create duplicates. And through all this and stuff, he's also immortal and has superhuman strength. So he just looks cool here. And like I said, it's kind of like he's a Swamp Thing, so he's just a lot of swamp related stuff. So moss, branches, leaves, just all sorts of stuff mixed together here into a human form. But what's really cool though is about like his face. So he's always got like the red eyes, so those glaring red eyes look cool, and a nice mouth design. So I like the way like the branch design here comes up to create like the separation of the face, but he has a mouth in there as well. And then his head design, so his head looks a little bit weird just over to the side. It feels like some piece is missing there, but it could just be part of the design or something. But just overall looks pretty cool with like the weird little spikes on his head. And then his overall body design is cool, just with, like I said, all the like plant life and stuff. So see, you got these like leaves on here going in through. You can see like all sorts of like moss designs like right in there, and then branches and stuff sticking out as well as some flowers and stuff, like especially there on his back you can see some like flowers growing, which looks really cool. Just overall really awesome design. I like how he's got like a spine design, just a really nice design. He's got a butt there too, just a really nice looking figure. Just overall just really cool design. His feet look like tree roots, you know, sort of growing out and everything. Just really nice design. He's got some branches and stuff hanging out there on his hands. Just a really awesome looking character and figure at this point. Now for movements, I wouldn't be surprised if we have some limitations here, but that can twist all the way around there. He can look down that far and up that far, so actually not too bad in the head. The shoulders can come up about 90 degrees, and with the plant life they're sort of loose there, so you can get them out of the way. So come up 90 degrees. There's a little bit of that like butterfly style joint there, maybe a little bit stiff, but can rotate all the way around as well. We get the single elbow joint that bends 90 degrees there and has a little bit of a rotation in it, and the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. He's got an ab crunch like right in here, so he can crunch back and forth just a little bit, but mostly twist side to side. And you gotta be careful with this. This is poking me everywhere as well. And then I'm sure he has the lower crunch as well, like down in the underwear support piece there that crunches back and forth. But the hips can come up about 90 degrees there out to the side, you know, pretty close to doing splits, and a little bit of a thigh twist up in there. But he's got a double knee joint that bends up that far to the back. Actually not too bad. And be careful with doing this. It's all sorts of green and mixed together, so you don't know where to put your hands exactly, but be careful where you put them because you might pinch your finger, because that happened to me. And then we get the foot that rocks back and forth, so rock back and forth there. Of course it's on like the ball style joints up in there and can twist a little side to side, and then it has the toe joint on the end. Now with this figure, it's not too bad. Like I'm able to get it to stand up without the base, but it's not very sturdy because, you know, he's this big body. Then his feet look a little bit small, but I am able to get him to stand. It's just not the most sturdiest thing, but he does come with the base. You know, I don't know how much this little base will help with this big body, but we do have that, so we'll put him on it. And it helps a lot with these figures if you kind of get his legs sort of like staggered out and stuff to help give him a wider base to stand on. And for accessories, the only thing we get is this additional hand piece with like this claw that looks pretty cool, so you can switch his hand out for this claw piece. But with this version, I do want to leave it just the way it is, but we will put this on the exclusive version because I think it'll add some more to it. But overall, looks pretty cool. And then of course we have his card. So there's a picture with the figure all posed up there, and of course it's Swamp Thing from DC Rebirth. And around on the back it says his real name is Alec Holland, and it says, while scientist Alec Holland was working on a formula to grow plant life where there is none, a rival organization vying for the formula set off a bomb that covered Alec in his biorestorative serum. To escape the flames in an explosion, he stumbled into a nearby swamp where he mutated into a strange hero known as Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing has superhuman strength and the ability to regenerate any portion of his body. He can also command plants to do his bidding and change locations instantly by inhabiting vegetation anywhere in the world. So that kind of does sum up what I already said earlier. So that's awesome how similar those were, but very cool overall for this version of Swamp Thing. But we also have the GameStop exclusive version as well, so it's going to be pretty much exact same thing, just this is from the new 52, so he has more of like the antler pieces up there on his head, but everything else with the body is going to be exactly the same, so all the movements and everything. But unfortunately with this one, I cannot get him to stand up on his own. This is one where you definitely have to get his feet put at a certain position, and even with putting him on the bases, he still doesn't stand. So I'm having a lot of issues with this figure, just like I said, getting it to stand. I like that the other one stood, but this one will not for some reason. So there, finally got him again, had to get his legs all done. But now this one, like I said, I do want to put this hand piece on him, so let's go and switch it out. Now unfortunately I was not able to get either of the hands switched out. Like I cannot get them out at all, so I can't switch it out now unfortunately, but I was able to do it on the first one. So there is the hand on there. So I just wanted to show you that it has the claw, because I thought it'd be cool to put it on this one so it has the antlers and the claw piece or spike. So I thought that'd be cool, but unfortunately it did not work out, so I had to put it on this one instead. But while I have that one here, I did want to bring in the silver version. I think it's like a DC Collectibles or something. So we have this version of Swamp Thing, again the new 52 version, and so that's is what he normally looks like. So again with this, you can tell they just took the Swamp Thing that they already made, so the first one we saw, and then just added some antlers onto it to make it the new 52. But this is what he's supposed to look like, so he has like more of the wood like antlers on his head, and then he also has wings and all sorts of stuff there, so it looks pretty cool here in this version of the Swamp Thing. But like I said, this is like the older one that used to be considered, you know, really big and everything, but now we have this McFarlane version, and you can see just how much it towers over it, and I even, you know, have them all spread out and everything, so you can just see that height difference, and so that is really cool. So again, I feel this figure's sort of more pointless because it, you know, didn't come with nearly as much stuff as like the new 52 one. Like the antlers are different, but the other one also comes with the claw hand and a shield for its hand and the wings, where this one, you know, pretty much just has the antlers and the claw. A little unfortunate that it doesn't come with as much stuff, but it's just a simple, easy exclusive that McFarlane made. Just throw some antlers on it and you have the same figure. Well, that's gonna be it for our look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Swamp Thing figures, where we had the normal release of the DC Rebirth Swamp Thing, as well as the GameStop exclusive new 52 version of Swamp Thing. So both of these figures are really cool. They're nice, big, giant figures that I think are awesome and will definitely stand out on any shelf, especially with the size of them. I think the normal one is pretty much the only one you need unless you like the look of the antlers more, but I feel to have like both of them like we do, I think is kind of pointless because there's not that much difference, and since the original one, it stands a lot easier and everything, for me, I think that's the one I would prefer more. But let me know what you thought of the Swamp Thing figures down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with a thumbs up. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.